Damn. All right. Happy USA Constitution Day.
Freshly made ravioli or hand
Happy
pulled
USA
ramen noodles. When you dine with
Constitution
either
Week.
will be amazing. Because
Alright.
it's the choice between a front row seat at the
We are
while getting a live demo
celebrating
of how to make
freedom.
ravioli, or dining with
We're
family
celebrating
style
the
as your
21st
ramen
bill.
sauce. This weekend it's ravioli.
We're celebrating chemical weapon. We're celebrating the right to be able to be farmer.
Make more of what's yours. Learn more.
I gotta read through this real quick. I don't know if I'll get through everything, but we will see. I'm not gonna read the quotes this time, but we're going with commentary. So first I would like to take a shot, and I would like to take a hit of cannabis. So that's what we're gonna do. I think I could get through this. We have to remember Hawaii. Hawaii is to X. I'm currently live on YouTube. I've been live on X for a while. We have to include Hawaii, so we have till 3 to finish this, technically. But, some in California. But by time 3 strikes, it's 6 in New York. So we have to keep that in mind. So I would like to do it around this time, pretty much. We're listening to Green Day, Pandora. And you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get through the Constitution together. I got my 18 plus shirt on. I don't know if you see it. And I have my Playboy hoodie. Getting ready for Halloween. Happy meteorological season to everybody. Every meteorological season. But let's take a shot of this. Let's do it. Okay. With commentary. This is with commentary, and I think I might start out with saying some things, but we'll touch on it. Anything that I feel like talking about, I'll talk about as I'm going through this, because that's just how I want this one to be. But I also want to read through it fairly quick. So I've already posted one of just a straight up read through. I've posted one of a read through with commentary. This one is my choice, which is a read through with commentary, but I just don't know how specific I'll get. Whatever comes out is what's gonna be documented in the videos. Cheers. Cheers to freedom. Cheers to 21st bill. Ooh. Cheers to prioritizing fun and living love, finding love. Yeah, cheers. Woo, shit. I also have this Starburst water. My babe. Which I might have to get more before my birthday. Oh, I was gonna wear this, but the batteries are non-functioning. The battery pack is non-functioning. So we're not wearing this. It's this time from Beams. So here we go. Oh wait, hit a weed. I'm gonna put a little bit of paper in there. I smoke the ends of my joints because they're made of hemp, so use it as a little coal and a block so that it doesn't get clogged.
Hard rock is on Decibel.
It's a five-finger death punch.
From Five Finger Death Punch.
I cleaned my bong recently,
Learn nothing more.
like 2 days ago.
All in one loud place.
All right.
Tap now to listen.
Constitution of the United States. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. That's one sentence. Article 1, Section 1. All legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and House of Representatives. Section 2. The House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen every second year by the people of the several states, and electors in each state shall have the qualifications requisite for electors of the most numerous branch of the state legislature. No person shall be a representative who shall have attained the age of 25 years and been 7 years a citizen of the United States. That's a congressional branch. And who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of the state in which he shall be chosen. Representatives, this is in the bracket, the brackets are removed. Representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states which may be included within the Union according to their representative numbers, which shall be determined by adding to the whole number of free persons, including those bound to service for a term of years, and excluding Indians not taxed, 3/5 of all persons, and bracket. The actual enumeration shall be made within 3 years after the first meeting of the Congress of the United States, and within every subsequent term of 10 years, in which manner, as they shall by law direct, the number of representatives shall not exceed 1 for every 30,000, but each state shall have at least 1 representative, and until such enumeration shall be made, the state of New Hampshire shall be, and until such enumeration shall be made, the state of New Hampshire shall be entitled to choose, they spell choose, CHUSE, entitled to choose 3, Massachusetts 8, Rhode Island and Providence Plantations 1, Connecticut 5, New York 6, New Jersey 4, Pennsylvania 8, Delaware 1, Maryland 6, Virginia 10, North Carolina 5, South Carolina 5, and Georgia 3. When vacancies happen in the representation from any state, the executive authority thereof shall issue writs of election to fill such vacancies. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers, and shall have the sole power of impeachment. Section 3. The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state. Bracket here, so it's removed. Chosen by the legislature thereof, and bracket, for 6 years. So the Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state for 6 years, and each senator shall have 1 vote. Immediately after they shall be assembled, in consequence of the first election, they shall be divided as equally as may be into 3 classes. The seats of the senators of the first class shall be vacated at the expiration of the 2nd year, of the 2nd class at the expiration of the 4th year, and of the 3rd class the expiration of the 6th year, so that 1/3 may be chosen every 2nd year.
ADT knows a lot can happen in a second.
Bracket
1 second,
here.
you're happily
And
single,
if
and the next
vacancies
second,
happen
you
by
catch a glimpse of
resignation
someone
or
you know
otherwise
already.
during the
Maybe 1
recess
second you realize
of
this is the
legislature of
that's
any
looks like the
state,
right
an
drink, and the
executive
next
thereof
you have an
may
LLC
make
and the dream
temporary
come true.
appointments
And when it comes to
until
your
the
home,
next
1 second
meeting
you
of
feel
the
safe, and the
legislature,
next something
which
goes
shall
wrong.
then fill
But with
such
AT&T's
vacancies.
24/7
End bracket. So it's
professional
removed.
monitoring, you still feel
So
safe.
we
Because
go
when every second
chosen
counts,
every
count
second
on
year.
AT&T.
No person
Visit
shall
AT&T.com
be a
today.
senator who shall not have attained to the age of 30 years. Gotta be 30 years old to be a senator. And been 9 years a citizen of the United States. And who shall not, when elected, been an inhabitant of the state for which he shall be chosen. The vice president of the United States shall be president of the Senate, but shall have no vote, unless they be equally divided. The Senate shall choose their other officers, and also a president pro tempore in the absence of the vice president, or when he shall exercise the office of President of the United States. The Senate shall have the sole power to try all impeachments. When sitting for the purpose, they shall be on oath or affirmation. When the President of the United States is tried, the Chief Justice shall preside, and no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of the members present. Judgment in cases of impeachment shall not extend further than to removal from office and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States, but the party convicted shall nevertheless be liable and subject to indictment, trial, judgment, and punishment according to law. Section 4. The times, places, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. But the Congress may at any time, by law, make or alter such regulations, except as to the places of choosing senators. The Congress shall assemble at least once in every year, and such meeting shall be, in brackets here, Monday in December, end bracket. So, and such meeting shall be, unless they shall by law appoint a different day. So they likely have a hidden day here. Section 5. Each house shall be the judge of the elections, returns, and qualifications of its own members, and a majority of each shall constitute a quorum to do business. But a smaller number may adjourn from day to day, and may be authorized to compel the attendance of absent members in such manner and under such penalties as each house may provide. Each house may determine the rules of its proceedings, punish its members for disorderly behavior, and with the concurrence of 2/3 expel a member. Each house shall keep a journal of its proceedings, and from time to time publish the same, excepting such parts as many in their judgment require. Secrecy, and the yeas and nays of the members of either house on question shall, at the desire of 1/5 of those present, be entered on the journal. Neither house during the session of Congress shall, without the consent of the other, adjourn for more than 3 days, nor to any other place than that in which the two houses shall be sitting. Section 6. The senators and representatives shall receive a compensation for their services to be ascertained by law and paid out of the Treasury of the United States. They shall, in all cases except treason, felony, and breach of peace, be privileged from arrest. So we'll read that again. They shall, in all cases except for treason, felony, and breach of peace, be privileged from arrest. during their attendance at the session of their representative houses and in going to and returning from the same, and for any speech or debate in either house, they shall not be questioned in any other place. No senator or representative shall, during the time of which he was elected, be appointed to any civil office under the authority of the United States, which shall have been created or emoluments whereof shall have been increased during such time. And they spelled increased with an E instead of an I. And no person holding any office in the United States shall be a member of either house during the continuance in office. Section 7. All bills for raising revenue shall originate in the House of Representatives. But the Senate may propose or concur with amendments as on other bills. Every bill which shall have passed the House of Representatives and the Senate shall, before it become a law, be presented to the President of the United States. If he approve, he shall sign it. But if not, he shall return it. With this objections to the House in which it shall have originated, who shall enter the objections at large on their journal and proceed to reconsider it. If after such reconsideration 2/3 of that House shall agree to pass the bill, it shall be sent together with the objections to the other House, by which it shall likewise be reconsidered, and if approved by 2/3 of the House, it shall become a law. But in all such cases, the votes of both houses shall be determined by yeas and nays, and the names of the persons voting for and against the bill shall be entered on the journal of each house, respectively. If any bill shall not be returned by the President within 10 days, Sundays excepted, after it shall have been presented to him, the Senate shall be a law in like manner as if he had signed it, unless the Congress, by their adjournment, prevent its return, in which case it shall not be a law. Every order, resolution, or vote to which the concurrence of the Senate and House of Representatives may be necessary, except on question of adjournment, may be necessary, shall be presented to the President of the United States, and before the same shall take effect, shall be approved by him, or being disapproved by him, shall be repassed by 2/3 of the Senate and House of Representatives, according to the rules and limitations prescribed in the case of a bill. Okay? It's all self-explanatory. If you want a law, it requires 2/3 congressional branch approval, the executive branch approval within 10 days, excluding Sundays. Alright? It then gets sent back to the motherfucking Senate and they gotta fucking pass it 2/3 vote. Alright. And then it becomes a bill of law, known as the USA Bill of Rights. If you want an act, go on the fucking stage, because that's where they belong. Acts belong on the fucking stage, and President Abraham Lincoln is my fucking evidence. Section 8. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and exercises, to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. But all duties, imposts, and excises shall be uniform throughout the United States, to borrow money on the credit of the United States, to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states, and with the Indian tribes, to establish in uniform rule of naturalization, and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcies throughout the United States, to coin money, regulate value thereof, and a foreign coin, and fix the standard of weights and measurements, to provide for the punishment of counterfeiting and securities and current coin of the United States, to establish offices and post roads, to promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right to their respective writings and discoveries, to constitute tribunals inferior to the superior court, to define and punish piracies and felonies committed on the high seas and offenses against the law of nations, to declare war, grant letters of marque and reprisal, and make rules concerning captures on land and water, to raise and support armies, but no appropriation of money to that use shall be for a longer term than 2 years, to provide and maintain a navy, to make rules for the government and regulation of the land and naval forces, to provide for calling forth the militia to execute the laws of the Union, suppress insurrections, and repel invasions, to provide for organizing, arming, and displacing the militia, and for governing such part of them as may be employed in the service of the United States, reserving to the states respectively the appointment of the officers and the authority of training the militia according to the discipline prescribed by Congress, to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over such district, not exceeding 10 miles square, as may, by secession of particular states and acceptance of Congress, become the seat of the government of the United States, and the exercise like authority over all places purchased by the consent of the legislature of the state in which the same shall be, for the erection of forts, magazines, arsenals, dockyards, and other needful buildings, and to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers and all other powers vested in this Constitution in the government of the United States, or in any department or officer thereof. The migration or importation of such persons as any of the states now existing shall think proper to admit shall not be prohibited by the Congress prior to the year 1808, that a tax or duty may be imposed on such importation, not exceeding $10 for each person. So every person that gets that comes here owes $10, and that's $10 in this time's money. Remember, 16 cents in 1956 bought a $60 Playboy t-shirt. 16 cents, so $10, and the only legal currency in the USA is LMNAU and AG, which is gold and silver. So, not exceeding $10 per person. The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless when, in cases of rebellion or invasion, the public safety may require. No bill of attainder or ex post facto law shall be passed. Here's brackets. No capitation or other direct tax shall be laid unless in proportion to the census or enumeration herein before directed to be taken, in brackets. So no bill of attainder or ex post facto law shall be passed. No tax or duty shall be laid on articles exported from any state. No preference shall be given by any regulation of the commerce of revenue to the ports of one state over those of another. Nor shall vessels bound to or from one state be obligated to enter, clear, or pay duties in another. No money shall be drawn from the treasury, but in the consequence of appropriations made by law and regular statement and account of the receipts and expenditures of all public money shall be published from time to time. No title of nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of the Congress, accept of any present emolument, office, or title of any kind whatsoever from the king, prince, or foreign state. Section 10. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver, coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder ex post facto, law or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any imposts or duties on imports or exports, except what may be absolutely necessary for executing its inspection laws, and the net procedure of all duties and imposts laid by any state on imports or exports shall be for the use of the Treasury of the United States, and all such laws shall be subject to the revision and control of the Congress. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any duty of tonnage, keep troops or ships of war in time of peace, enter into any agreement or compact with another state or with foreign power, or engage in war unless actually invaded or in such imminent danger as will not admit of delay. You hear that? Yeah, here. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any duty or tonnage, keep troops or ships of war in the time of peace, enter into any agreement or compact with another state, or with a foreign power, or engage in war, unless actually invaded, or in such imminent danger as will not admit of delay. So, you know what I'm saying? If you're getting invaded, guess what? You can participate in war with a foreign nation. That's what this fucking says. It clearly fucking says that. And it says if you're in imminent danger, you can also participate in war with a foreign nation. That's the law. That's Article 1, Section 10, final paragraph. Fucking banger. Article 2, Section 1. The executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States of America shall hold his office during the term of 4 years, and together with the vice president chosen for the same term be elected as follows. Let's see the time. 11 to 6. Each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the whole number of senators and representatives to which the state may be entitled in the Congress, but no senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or profit under the United States shall be appointed an elector. Here's a bracket. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for 2 persons, of whom one at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state within themselves, and they shall make a list of all persons voted for and of the number of votes for each, which list they shall sign and certify, and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House of Representatives, open all certificates, and the votes shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes shall be the president, comma. We're still in the bracket here. If such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed, and if there be more than one who have such majority and have an equal number of votes, then the House of Representatives shall immediately cause by ballot one of them for president, and if no person have a majority, then from the 5 highest of the list, the said House shall in like manner choose the president, but in choosing the president, the votes shall be taken by states. The representation from each state having one vote, a quorum for this purpose shall consist of a member or members from 2/3 of the states, and a majority of all states shall be necessary to a choice, a majority here. In every case, after the choice of the president, the person having the greatest number of votes of the electors shall be vice president, but if there should remain 2 or more who have equal votes, the Senate shall choose from them by ballot the vice president. And bracket. So we're going back here. And bracket, let me read the final sentence. But no senator, representative, or person holding an office of trust or profit of the United States shall be appointed as elected. The Congress may determine the time of choosing the electors and the day on which they shall give their votes, which day shall be the same throughout the United States. No person except a natural-born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible to the office of the President. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who shall not have attained to the age of 35 years and been 14 years a resident within the United States. Here's another bracket. In case of the removal of the president from office or of his death, resignation, or inability to discharge the powers and duties of the said office, the same shall devolve on the vice president. The Congress may by law provide for the case of removal, death, resignation, or inability both of the president and vice president, declaring what officer shall then act as president, and such officer shall act accordingly until this ability be removed, or a president shall be elected, in bracket. So that's not law. So we go back here and go age of 30, office who shall not have attained to the age of 35 years and been 14 years a resident within the United States. The president shall at stated times receive for his services a compensation which shall neither be increased nor diminished during the period for which he shall have been elected, and he shall not receive within that period any other emolument from the United States, or any of them. Before he enter on the execution of his office, he shall take the following oath of affirmation. I do solemnly swear and affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. There it is. This is Article 2, Section 2. The President shall be Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy of the United States and the militia of the several states. I hear that? And the militia of the several states. You are listening to the Commander-in-Chief. Okay? When called into the actual service of the United States, he may require the opinion and writing of the principal officer in each of the executive departments upon any subject relating to the duties of their respective offices, and he shall have power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. He shall have power, by and with the advice and consent of the Senate, to make treaties, provided 2/3 of the senators present concur. And he shall nominate, and by and with the advice of and consent of the Senate, shall appoint ambassadors, other public ministers, and consuls, judges of the Supreme Court, and all other officers of the United States, whose appointments are not herein otherwise provided for, and which shall be established by law, but the Congress may by law vest the appointment of such inferior officers, as they think proper in the President alone and the courts of law, or in the heads of the department. The President shall have power to fill up all vacancies that may happen during the recess of the Senate by granting commissions which shall expire at the end of their next session. Article 2, Section 3. He shall from time to time give the Congress information of the state of the Union and recommend to their consideration such measures as he shall judge necessary and expedient he may, on extraordinary occasions, convene both houses, or either of them, and in the case of disagreement between them, with respect to the time of adjournment, he may adjourn them to such time, and he shall think proper. He shall receive ambassadors and other public ministers. He shall take care of the laws, be faithfully executed, and shall commission all the officers of the United States. Section 4, Article 2, Section 4. The President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Article 3. We're on Article 3. Let's see. How many more we got? We only have Article 3, and then it looks like we got 2 more pages here. And that's part of Article 3. 1, 2, 3, and 3/4. And that's 4th quarter. So 1, 2, 3, 4 pages solid. I'm not going to read through the names this time. In convention, let's see.
Your children, friends, and families.
I don't think I'm going to read in convention. Let's just get through. I will read the preamble to the Bill of Rights, though.
Protect our cyclists and pedestrians because they're people too.
So let me take a hit here of some things. I need some drugs in me.
There's
You can hit
29
some
seconds
drugs
left in the
here.
half, and Jeff needs to make a game-time decision, folks. Will he get angry in the second half? Boo. Or save $10 at Lucky Supermarkets and get fried chicken, layer dip, and icy
You know,
nuts delivered through Instacart. The crowd cheers. Let's
it's a
go.
banger so
He's
far.
got more
It's a
calls
fucking
than you
banger.
should check out, and touchdown. Will he get the extra point with delivery in as fast as 30 minutes? Yes. The crowd comes.
If you're not drinking, you're simping. If you're not smoking, you're simping.
Lucky Supermarkets and enjoy
Cannabis is medication. 21st bill is a fucking law.
Additional terms apply.
We all know that our credit card numbers can be stolen, but you know what's harder to steal? Your face. With Apple Pay,
It is the
purchases are
law.
authenticated by you, thanks to Face ID. Just double click, smile, and tap. With each tap, your card number and your purchases stay secured. Pay the Apple way with your compatible device anywhere contactless payment is accepted.
Damn. This nicotine hits. It really hits when I'm drinking. So I gotta keep that in mind. And like on a smaller hit ratio. I don't really like hitting it when I'm not drinking. It doesn't hit as dope. Whoops. Good night. I'm fucking doing this static pose that you gotta imagine gravity is against me, and I'm doing like this. Oh, dude, my fucking shoulder is just killing me. I'm laying on my side. I'm laying on my side a lot. I'm just straight up. I'm about like this. And I got my head on pillow here. That's rested, but my fucking shoulder is just killing me.
Cut back on the energy drinks. But that doesn't mean you can't relive the music of the 2000s. The 2000s alternative scene lives on Numb. This is the Tamagotchi. And listen to Numb, 2000s alternative. Tap now to listen.
I don't know if I could take a shot. We'll wait till the Bill of Rights. Article 3, Section 1. The judicial power of the United States. Turn it down a couple. The judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court, and in such inferior courts the Congress may from time to time ordain and establish the judges. Both of the Supreme and inferior courts shall hold their offices during good behavior, and shall at stated times receive for their services a compensation which shall not be diminished during their continuance in office. Section 2. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity arising under this Constitution, the laws of the United States, and treasuries made on which shall be made under their authority, to all cases affecting ambassadors and public ministers, and consuls to all cases of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction, to controversies to which the United States shall be a party, to controversies between two or more states, here's a bracket, between a state and citizens of another state, in bracket, so, to controversies to which the United States shall be a party, to controversies between two or more states, between citizens of different states, between citizens of the same state, claiming lands under grants in different states, here's a bracket, and between a state of the citizens thereof and foreign states, citizens or subjects, in bracket. So, between citizens of different states, between citizens of the same state, claiming lands under grants of different states, in all cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers, and consuls, and those in which a state shall be party. The Supreme Court shall have original jurisdiction in all other cases before mentioned. The Supreme Court shall have appellate jurisdiction, both as to law and fact, with such exceptions and under the regulations and as the Congress shall make. The trial of all crimes, except in all cases of impeachment, shall be by jury, and such trial shall be held in each state where the said crime shall have been committed. But when not committed within any state, the trial shall be at such place or places as Congress may by law have directed. So you can commit a crime beyond the state boundary lines. That's what that's saying. Article 3, Section 3. Treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. No person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimony of two witnesses to the same overt act or on confession in open court. The Congress shall have power to declare the punishment of treason, but no attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture except during of the life of the person attained. Article 4, Section 1. This is my fucking favorite article. Article 4, Section 1. Full faith and credit shall be given in each state to the public acts, records, and jurisdiction and judicial proceedings of every state. And the Congress may by general laws prescribe the manner in which such acts, records, and proceedings shall be proved, and the effect thereof. Section 2. The citizens of each state shall entitled to all privileges of immunities of citizens in the several states. A person charged in any state with treason, felony, or crime who shall flee from justice and be found in another state shall on demand of the executive authority of the state from which he fled be delivered up to be removed of the state having jurisdiction of the crime. Here's a bracket. No person held to service or labor in one state under the laws thereof escaping into another shall, in consequence of any law or regulation therein, be discharged from such service or labor, but shall be delivered up on claim of the party of whom such service or labor may be due. In brackets. So that's not law. So we'll say, shall on demand of the executive authority of the state from which he fled be delivered up to be removed to the state having jurisdiction of the crime. Section 3. New states of Article 3, Section 3. New states may be admitted by the Congress into the Union, but no new state shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state, nor any state be formed by the junction of two or more states, or parts of states without the consent of legislature of the states concerned, as well as the Congress. The Congress shall have the power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory of the property belonging to the United States, and nothing in this Constitution shall be so construed as to prejudice any claims of the United States or of any particular state. Article 4, Section 4, why I said 3. We're on Article 4, by the way. Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state of this union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion on application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence. All right, the Nazi militia is committing domestic violence against us. The fucking Nazi Mexican invasion, the funding of Nazism in Nazi Ukraine. You're fucking impeached. You're out. You're fucking irrelevant. Goodbye. Article 5. The Congress, whenever 2/3 of both houses shall deem it necessary, shall propose amendments to the Constitution. Amendments. Should propose amendments. But remember, we read in here, a bill is being signed into the USA Bill of Rights. Similar to the way I say metal projectile weapon, that of course you guys speak as gun. That's what they're saying with amendment. An amendment is a bill that is being signed into the USA Bill of Rights. So Article 5, here we go. The Congress, whenever 2/3 of both houses shall deem it necessary, shall propose amendments to the Constitution or on the application of the legislature of 2/3 of the several states, shall call on convention for proposing amendments, which in either case shall be valid to all intents and purposes. As part of this Constitution, when ratified by the legislature of 3/4 of the several states, or by conventions in 3/4 thereof, as the one of the Congress, provided that no amendment which may be made prior to the year 1808 and 8 shall in any manner, provided that no amendment which may be made prior to the year 1808, 1808, shall in any manner affect the first and fourth clauses in the 9th section of the first article, and that no state without the consent shall be deprived of its equal suffrage in the Senate. Okay, we're moving on. Article 6, all debts contracted and engagements entered into before an adoption of the Constitution shall be as valid against the United States under the Constitution and under the Confederation, the Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be in pursuance thereof, and the treaties made, or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the constitutional laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding, the senators and representatives before mentioned, and the members of the several states' legislature, and all executive and judicial officers, both of the United States and of the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution. But no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. Article 7, the ratification of the conventions of 9 states shall be sufficient for the establishment of this Constitution between the states so ratifying the same, done in convention by unanimous consent of the United States present the 17th day of September of the year of our Lord 1787. 1787, and the independence of the United States of America, the 12th in witness whereof we have hereunto subscribed our names. And they read off their names, which you can look up. So I'm reading through this. Let's read through the preamble to the Bill of Rights, and then we'll read the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights, a few pages. It looks like it's going to take us probably till 1 to get through this. Shit. I do read the Bill of Rights pretty fast because it got some gaps in it, but it starts to get lengthy towards the end here. You know how motherfuckers are. So let's just try to confuse a motherfucker. The first ones are just all a couple sentences, couple words. Oh shit. Fuck. La 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 la. I'm just gonna take it now. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Action is water. One. This is some water. God damn. gotta listen to this.
We all know that our credit card numbers can be stolen, but you know what's harder to steal? Your face. With Apple Pay, your purchases are authenticated by you, thanks to Face ID. Just double click, smile, and tap. With each tap, your card number and your purchases stay secured. Pay the Apple way with your compatible device anywhere contactless payment is accepted.
We're going through this.
Right now at Wendy's, you can get a
Otherwise, we're not
small
gonna hit
Frosty
one.
for $1. And literally
Preamble to the
everyone
Bill
is
of
going.
Rights.
The car behind you,
Congress
you get a
of the United
Frosty.
States.
The car ahead of you already
Begun
has one
and
for
held
a
at the
second.
city
The
of
person
New
who
York
cut you
on
off
Wednesday,
earlier,
the
you
4th
guessed
of
it,
March,
$1
1789.
Frosty. It's all a sign for you to go
The
get
conventions
Just
of
don't cut
a
anyone off
number
and
of the
go
states
myself first.
having at the time of their
Frosty for
adopting the
$1,
Constitution
got it.
expressed a
Wendy's.
desire in order to prevent misconstruction or abuse of its powers that further declaratory and restrictive clauses should be added, and as extending to the ground of public confidence in the government will best ensure the benefit of ends of its institution. Resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled, 2/3 of both houses concurring that the following articles be proposed to the legislatures of the several states as amendments to the Constitution of the United States, all or any of which articles, when ratified by 3/4 of the said legislatures, to be valid to all intents and purposes as part of the said Constitution, viz. Articles in addition to and amendments to the Constitution of the United States of America, proposed by Congress and ratified by the legislatures of several states pursuant to the 5th article of the original Constitution. So why does it say, hold up here,
You wanna talk constantly about misery and how you've been done so wrong. Wanna bet your honesty and exaggerate the distress that you've undergone. There's never a compromise. No one can say that they've ever been hurt.
as amendments to the Constitution of the United States,
You're a victim so much
all or any of which articles, when ratified by 3/4, or any of which articles, when ratified by 3/4 of said legislature, to be valid to all intents and purposes as part of the said Constitution. So, to ratify an article, it requires 3/4. To add a bill to the USA Bill of Rights, it requires 2/3. Let's make that clear. Now, we're on the amendments to the Constitution of the United States of America, USA Bill of Rights. Amendment 1. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Religion means routine. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of routine or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging to the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Peaceably to assemble, not assemble peacefully. That is entirely different. Peaceably to assemble, that means assemble without any disruption. That's what protest means. Alright? We are allowed to assemble without disruption. Here's the permit. It's a fucking law. Right here. I just read it for you. Amendment 2, Bill 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary.
Whoa, it's the Capital One Bank guy.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Keep and bear. That bear means show. Alright, the way that they're speaking it, bear means show. So you're allowed to keep weapons, and doesn't specify what. A musket is not a gun. They use muskets. Weapons are not allowed on government property. We got 2 cannons in front of the fucking government courthouse out here. So metal tubes are not weapon. You're allowed to keep metal tubes. You're allowed to show metal tubes. You're allowed to keep and show any weapon. Chemicals are weapons. Alcohol is a weapon. Molotov cocktail. Nuclear bomb is a weapon. Enriching uranium. We, the people of the United States, are allowed to keep and show all weapon all the time. That's what this just said. Alright? If you have any disagreement with that, comment in the fucking comment section. I'll send you in that. Amendment 3, Bill 3. No soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house. Remember the Commander-in-Chief is in charge of the USA Militia. Okay, so no soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a matter to be prescribed by law. And what is law? The USA Bill of Rights, the USA Constitution, the USA Declaration of Independence. I don't want you to get that fucking wrong. Amendment 4, Bill 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things be seized. Prescribed by law, right? What doesn't that say? Where did I see that? No warrant shall issue but upon probable cause. Amendment 3, prescribed by law. So you need a law that is to be violated in the USA Bill of Rights in order to issue that warrant, in order to search and seize someone's property. Right? That's what we just read here. Amendment 5, Bill 5. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. You are not allowed to be a witness against yourself without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Due process of law. So we'll get into that, right? And remember, the law is the USA Bill of Rights, the USA Constitution, and the USA Declaration of Independence. If you want a law, you need 2/3 congressional branch to approve a law into the USA Bill of Rights. If you'd like to adjust the Constitution, you need 3/4 of the congressional branch to approve the adjustment. So we are on, so that was 5, and then I believe that was 6. Hold on. No, we're on Amendment Bill 6 now. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witness against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have assistance of counsel for his defense. Amendment 7, Bill 7. In suits at common law, where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of and $20, we're talking this day, 16 cents bought a $60 shirt. In suits of common law where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. Amendment 8, Bill 8. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. And that one should just be read twice for everybody. Amendment 8, Bill 8. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. Excessive fines imposed, that's including ID, DMV, recycle fine, fucking garbage service. I mean, they're not calling that a tax, right? Water service, fucking, you know, it just goes on and on. It's like, fee this, you know. So, excessive fees, they take a little bit here, a little bit there. Bro, in the end, it's excessive. It's a violation of the USA Bill of Rights, dude. I'm not fucking joking either. Amendment 9. The enumeration of the Constitution of certain rights shall be construed to deny or disparage others restrained by the people. Shall not be construed to deny or disparage others restrained by the people. Like I said, there's no such thing as tourists. Except for if you're leadership. And we'll read that here. The power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. The power is not delegated to the United States. The power is, what does power mean? Power is, you know, leadership. Power is knowledge. But I would say if you're knowledgeable enough, you'd be leader. So the people that are leader do not follow the USA law when they're in the USA. According to Amendment 9, the people that do come into the USA, any tourist, any visitor, follows this law. That's Amendment 9, Bill 9. Bill 10, Amendment 10, if you're a leader from somewhere else, you do not follow the USA law. You cannot carry a metal projectile fucking weapon with you.
Learning how to simplify its data. That's
Alright,
because
that's my fucking rule right there.
organizations to get the most out of their funds.
Amendment 11, the judicial power of the United States shall not be construed to extend to any suit in law or equity commenced or prosecuted against one of
Nutanix and CDW. Learn more at
the United States by citizens of another state, or by citizens or subjects of any foreign state. Amendment 12. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for president and vice president, one of whom at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state. With themselves they shall name in their ballots the person voted for as president, and in distinct ballots the person voted for as vice president, and they shall make distinct lists of all persons voted for president and of all persons voted for as vice president, and of the numbers of the votes for each, which list they shall sign and certify and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. The President of the Senate shall, in presence of the Senate and the House of Representatives, open all of the certificates, and votes shall be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes for president shall be president. If such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed, and if no person have such majority, then from the persons having the highest number, not exceeding 3 on the list of those voted for as president, the House of Representatives shall choose immediately by ballot the president. But in choosing the president, the votes shall be taken by states, the representation from each state having one vote. A quorum for the purpose shall consist of a members from 2/3 of the states, and a majority of the states shall be necessary to a choice. There's a bracket, so it's not law. And if the House of Representatives shall not choose a president, whenever the right of choice shall devolve upon them before the 4th day of March next following, then the vice president shall act as president, as in the case of the death or other constitutional disability of the president, not impeachment. End bracket. That's not law. That's not law. You can ignore that. So, and a majority of the states shall be necessary to a choice. The person having the greatest number of votes as vice president shall be the vice president, if such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed. If no person have a majority, then from the 2 highest numbers on the list, the Senate shall choose the vice president. A quorum for the purpose shall consist of 2/3 of the whole number of senators, and a majority of the whole number shall be necessary to a choice. But no person constitutionally ineligible to the office of president shall be eligible to that of vice president of the United States. So that whole section is just talking about how the congressional branch goes about electing a new president, and if they don't go about electing a new president in disability or death, not impeachment, the vice president automatically becomes president the following year on March 4th. So, whatever upcoming March 4th is, it says then following. Amendment 13, Section 1, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States, or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Section 2, Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. Amendment 13 was signed in by final President Abraham Lincoln. The first 10 amendments were signed in by the USA Founding Fathers. Anything beyond that is added by later presidents. Amendment 13 is signed in by President Abraham Lincoln. It says clearly the word except. I'm going to read it again. Section 1. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as punishment for crime. Except as punishment for crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States, or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Now, what is a crime? A crime is when you break the law, when you violate the law. And what is the law? The law is what I'm currently reading: the USA Constitution, the USA Bill of Rights, and it's about to be the USA Declaration of Independence, the right to continue my pursuit for happiness. Emotion is my right to endure. I'm allowed to be angry and be continuing my pursuit for happiness, because this anger is leading to my end goal, which is fun and love. I'm continuing my pursuit for happiness by hating other beings, and they're trying to thieve hate emotion. So I want everyone to know the accept. I'm getting to the 21st bill, but they do not follow the 21st bill. They don't follow the first bill. Peaceably to assemble. Peaceably for the people to assemble. They want a permit. This is the permit. And for the second bill protects the first bill. There's really no reason for the second bill if you don't have the first bill. So the second bill is the right to keep and show all weapons all the time. Nuclear fucking bombs all the time. Metal blade all the time. Metal folding blade. Metal projectile weapon. Paintball gun with fucking marbles. Cannon. Whatever the fuck you want. Keep and show all weapons all the time. Handheld cannon. Musket. Whatever. So, except as punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. If you fucking commit a fucking crime, I fucking guarantee you I'm allowed to enslave you, because it says here, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except. Alright? Except what? Well, except if you break the fucking law. So, you're not allowed to be a slave or be subject to involuntary servitude unless you break the fucking law. And if you're breaking the fucking law, if you're not following the 21st fucking bill, if you're not following the second bill, if you're not following the first bill, I guarantee you're going to be enduring the except word here. Which I identify this article as prisoner of war, because if you're not following the fucking USA Constitution, the USA Bill of Rights, the USA Declaration of Independence, the USA Book of Law, it's that thing. If you're not following this, you are therefore not from here. You're an invasion militia. Article 4, Section 4 gives me the right to remove an invasion militia. Doesn't specify how. I get to remove it however the fuck I want. I can murder you via slavery. I can fucking not feed you and you will starve to death. I will not give you water and you will dehydrate. Alright? I can work you to death, overheat you. So that's slavery. And prisoners of war would be a proper term to describe that article, that bill. And because you are in fact an invasion militia, and it doesn't have to be a physical invasion. It can be an ideological invasion. My evidence is the Confederate nation. The Confederates invaded ideologically. They were trying to enact their own laws for state boundary lines, which it appears they fucking won. But they were trying to enact their own laws for their own state boundary lines, violating the Constitution. And we got into Civil War I when they finally signed into law that you're allowed to have slaves. They said nope, and fucking invaded their motherfucking ass and got into big Civil War I. So President Abraham Lincoln was able to sign this, but he was the final death in Civil War I. So we have to keep that in mind. Did we win or did we lose? Where was he killed? The theater. He was watching a play. Acts belong on the stage is what I believe he was saying. A bill is required to be signed in the USA Bill of Rights. The Confederates believe in acts and blah, blah, blah. And that's what we're living today, is a fucking Confederate fucking invasion. And once I get to the fucking 18th bill and 21st bill, you'll for sure see that they're not fucking following the fucking law. And I guarantee you, they're all gonna be motherfucking enslaved. They're all gonna be motherfucking murdered in various fucking ways. And I'm not fucking around, motherfuckers. It's fucking guaranteed. I'm fucking dead ass serious. I don't give a fuck if I'm laughing, joking, whatever. I'm fucking serious. It's Revolutionary War II, Civil War II, World War III. This is happening on a planetary level this time. It's gonna be fucking permanent. Amendment 14, Bill 14, Section 1. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property. Shall not deprive any person of life, liberty, property. Yet they're thieving your fucking earnings when you own any fucking property. Not deprive any person of life. They fucking have death penalty, right? Liberty. We'll look that one up later. life and property, we can guarantee you that they're fucking thieving those. So, you're not allowed to fucking do that. Without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Due process of the law. Right now they have it as, when you do the 21st bill, manufacture, transport, use, possess, and sell of all intoxicating liquors, and you get into a accident, or someone even hits you, you're put in cages, Nazi chains and cages for murder. When you do the law, they convict you as a murderer. And they do still have death penalty legalized in various fucking states, so, which is another fucking violation. Section 2. Representatives shall be, and chemical is a weapon. So chemical weapon can be consumed. Chemical weapon can be used in whichever way we choose. It's like a metal projectile weapon. Section 2. This is Article 13, Bill 13. No, 14. Section 2. Representatives shall be apportioned among the several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed, but when the right to vote at any election for the choice of electors for president and vice president of the United States, representatives in Congress and executive and judicial officers of the state or the members of the legislatures thereof, and is denied to any of the male inhabitants of such state, being 21 years of age and citizens of the United States, or in any way obliged, except for participation in rebellion or other crime. So it sounds like you can be younger congressman if you're participating in rebellion. Or if there's crimes being committed amongst the congressional bench, you can be younger than 21 and be a congressman. So, or other crime. The basis of representation therein shall be reduced in the proportion which the number of such male citizens shall bear to the whole number of male citizens 21 years of age in such state. So, they said if these motherfuckers violate the law and get removed, the male citizens are the ones in each state that are going 21 years of age and older that will be choosing the next representative, and it can be someone younger than 21. Section 3. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state, to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof, but Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. They shall not have been engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. So that's an important one. What is that? 14, Section 3. That's an article one. An important one. Let's mark that one down. Amendment 14. Bill 14, Section 4, the validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debts incurred for payments of pensions and bounties for services in suppressing insurrection or rebellion shall not be questioned, but neither the United States nor any state shall assume or pay any debt or obligation incurred in aid of insurrection or rebellion against the United States, or any claim for the loss of emancipation of an slave. But all debts, obligations, and claims shall be held illegal and void. Section 5. The Congress shall have power to enforce by appropriate legislation the provisions of this article. Amendment 15. Section 1. The right of the citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by the state on any account of race, color, or previous condition or servitude. It didn't say that before. This is a reiteration of the fact. I guarantee you, everybody was voting. This is evidence that they tried to thieve beings of their vote, and we're reiterating the fact. So people were allowed to vote, and this is guaranteeing that it does not ever happen again. The USA Constitution is not changed. You cannot make edits to the thing. You have to add another to the Bill of Rights. You have to add another bill. The bill remains in the Bill of Rights. Did not get removed. So that's to ensure that history does not repeat itself, and that's why I said this is a reiteration of the fact. Race, color, or previous condition of servitude. You're allowed to vote on if you're a USA citizen, civilian, human male. The Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. That's Section 2. Amendment 16. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source derived without apportionment among the several states and without regard to any census or enumeration. Article 17, Amendment 17, Bill 17. The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, elected by the people thereof for 6 years, and each senator shall have 1 vote. The electors in each state shall have the qualifications requisite for electors. And the most numerous branch of the state legislatures, when vacancies happen in the representation of any state in the Senate, the executive authority of the state shall issue writs of election to fill such vacancies, provided the legislature of any state may empower the executive thereof to make temporary appointments until the people fill the vacancies by election as the legislature may direct. The amendment shall not be so construed as to affect the election or term of any senator chosen before it becomes valid as part of the Constitution. Amendment 18. Here it is. This one's removed. Bracket's a bracket. Amendment 18, Section 1. After 1 year from the ratification of this article, the manufacture, sale, or transportation of intoxicating liquors within the importation thereof into or the exportation thereof from the United States and all territories subject to jurisdiction thereof for beverage purposes is hereby prohibited. Section 2. The Congress of the several states shall have concurrent power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. Section 3. The article shall be inoperative unless it shall have been ratified as an amendment to the Constitution by the legislatures of the several states as provided by the Constitution within 7 years from the date of submission here to the states to the Congress. It got submitted, it got passed, blah, blah. We're on Amendment 19. The right of the citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. By sex, what they mean is digestive tract, male, female, digestive tract, transgender, hermaphrodite, whatever you want to call yourself. you are allowed to vote, which is another reiteration of the fact. And we don't ever want that to occur again. So we're documenting it in history so that it's always law. Because someone misunderstood the Book of Law clearly. So, we got invaded. Amendment 20, Section 1, the Bill 20, Section 1, the terms of the President and Vice President shall end at noon on the 20th day of January, and the terms of Senators and Representatives at noon on the 3rd day of January of the years in which such terms would have ended in this article have not been ratified, and the terms of their successors shall then begin. Section 2, the Congress shall assemble at least once in every year, and such meeting shall begin at the noon of the 3rd day of January, unless they shall by law appoint a different day. And you need a bill to be signed, you said Bill of Rights. Section 3, if at any time fixed for the beginning of the term of the President President-elect shall have died, the Vice President-elect shall have become President. If a President shall have not been chosen before the time fixed for the beginning of his term, or if the President-elect shall have failed to qualify, then the Vice President-elect shall act as President until a President shall have qualified, and the Congress may by law provide the cases wherein neither a President-elect nor a Vice President-elect shall have qualified, declaring who shall then act as President, or the manner in which one who is to act shall be selected, and such person shall accordingly until President or Vice President shall have qualified. She's talking about how Vice President becomes Vice President, etc. President, if they lose the Vice President, I guess. If the President dies, the Congress is selecting President. That's what we're talking about. Section 4. The Congress may by law provide for the case of death of any persons from whom the House of Representatives may choose a President whenever the right of choice shall have devolved upon them, and for the case of the death of any of the persons from whom the Senate may choose a Vice President whenever the right of choice shall have devolved upon them. Fuck. Let me read that again. Section 4. The Congress may by law provide for the case of the death of any of the persons from whom the House of Representatives may choose as President whenever the right of choice shall have devolved upon them, and for the case of the death of any of the persons from whom the Senate may choose a Vice President whenever the right of choice shall have been devolved upon them. Section 5, that's one death, not impeachment. Section 5, Section 1 and 2 shall take effect on the 15th day of October following the ratification of this article. Section 6, the article shall be inoperative unless it shall have been ratified as an amendment to the Constitution by the legislatures of 3/4 of the several states within 7 years from the date of its submission. Amendment 21, here we go, my favorite one, Section 1, Bill 21, Section 1. The 18th article of the amendment of the Constitution of the United States is hereby repealed. Hereby repealed. So let's read what it banned. It banned the manufacture, sale, or transportation of intoxicating liquors within the importation thereof into or the exportation thereof from the United States in all territories subject to jurisdiction thereof for beverage purposes. Okay, that's what it banned. So I guess we're allowed to export and import it too. Back to it. 18th article of the amendment of the Constitution of the United States is hereby repealed, so all those things are legal. Section 2, the transportation or importation into any state, territory, or possession of the United States for delivery or use therein of intoxicating liquors in violation of the law thereof is hereby prohibited. Okay, you can't violate that fucking law. If your state's violating that fucking law, you're fucking invasion, and I'm gonna send the fucking military out to you motherfucking ass, the Haitians. Section 3. This article shall be inoperative unless it shall have been ratified as an amendment to the Constitution by conventions in the several states as provided in the Constitution within 7 years from the day of the submission hereof to the states of Congress. So, we got what, 2 pages left? 1, 2. Yeah, we got 2 pages left. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3. Amendment 22, Section 1. Bill 23, Section 1. No person shall be elected to the office of president more than twice, and no person who has held office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was elected president shall be elected to the office of the president more than once, but this article shall not apply to any person holding the office of president when this article was proposed by Congress, and shall not prevent any person who may be holding the office of president or acting as president during the term within which this article becomes operative from holding the office of president or acting as president during the remainder of such term. Section 2. This article shall be inoperative unless it shall have been ratified as an amendment to the Constitution by the legislatures of 3/4 of the several states within 7 years from the day of submission to the states by the Congress. Amendment 23. Section 1. So that put term limits on the presidency. You're only allowed 2 terms now. Remember, that was not law before. You were able to be president as long as you fucking wanted. We had a president serve 4 terms, FDR. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and then they signed this in after World War II. Amendment 23, Section 1. The district constituting the seat of government of the United States shall appoint in such manner of the Congress as the Congress may direct. A number of electors of president and vice president equal to the whole number of senators and representatives in Congress to which the district would be entitled if it were a state, but in no event more than the least populous state. They shall be in addition to the appointed by the states, but they shall be considered for the purpose of the election of president and vice president, the electors appointed by a state, and they shall meet in the district, perform such duties as provided by the 12th article of the amendment. The Congress shall apparently enforce this article by appropriate legislation. Do that one more time. So the Congress may be able to present an elector when there is a vacancy. Amendment 24. Section 1. The right of the citizens of the United States to vote in any primary or other election for president, vice president, for electors for president or vice president, or for senators or representative in Congress shall not be denied or barred by the United States or any state by reason of failure to pay any poll tax or other tax. ID tax. Stop fucking talking about the ID tax. Fucking tired of it. I'm really fucking tired of it. I know billionaire doesn't understand that, billionaire boys, but I'm really fucking tired of it. Do not bring that fucking up to me. We don't want fucking people. If the ballot is fake, burn it. Welcome back to fucking reality. Amendment 25. This is the law. So welcome yourselves back to fucking reality. IDs do cost earnings. Fuck you, dude. You need to read through this before you fucking go posting to the fucking president and shit. Or campaigning to be.
In the trades, your tools are everything. You can't afford them breaking down on
Okay.
the job.
Amendment 20.
Tough boots robes that are insanely comfortable
5.
right out of the box. We work directly with people.
So that was
who train
24. This is
develop each
25.
product
Section
at
1.
the
In
best
case
price.
of the removal of
Try
the
risk-free
president
for
from the
30
office of his
days
death or
on free
resignation, the
shipping
vice
and
president shall
returns. You
become
get $10
president.
off your
Section
first
2.
order with
Whenever
code
there is a
SXM.
vacancy in the
Go
office
to
of vice president,
brunswickworkwear.com.
the president shall nominate a vice president who shall take office upon confirmation by a majority vote of both House of Congress. Section 3. Whenever the president transmits to the president pro tempore of the Senate and Speaker of the House of Representatives his written declaration that he is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office until he transmits to them a written declaration to the contrary, such powers and duties shall be discharged by the vice president as acting president. Section 4. Whenever the vice president and a majority of either of the principal officers of the executive departments or of such other body as Congress may by law provide transmit to the President pro tempore of the Senate and Speaker of the House of Representatives there with written declaration that the President is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office. The Vice President shall immediately assume the powers and duties of the office as acting President. Thereafter, when the President transmits to the President pro tempore of the Senate and the Speaker of the House and the Representatives his written declaration that no inability exists, he shall resume the powers and duties of his office, unless the Vice President and a majority of either the principal officers of the Executive Department or such other body of Congress made by law transmit within 4 days of the President pro tempore of the Senate and Speaker of the House of Representation their written declaration and that the President is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office. Thereupon Congress shall decide the issue, assembling within 48 hours for the purpose, if not in session. If the Congress within 21 days after receipt of the latter written declaration, or if Congress is not in session within 21 days after Congress is required to assemble, determines by 2/3 vote of both houses that the President is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office, the Vice President shall continue to discharge the same as acting President, unless otherwise the President shall resume the powers and duties of his office. That's just talking about President can submit a letter, and the Vice President can submit a letter talking about their suspicions that one of the others is not qualified for the job. If one of the others submits a letter clarifying that they are qualified for the job, then they will remain in their position. Amendment 26, Section 1. The right of the citizens of the United States who are 18 years of age or older to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States by any state on account of age, or by any state on account of age. So if it does not say that you have to be 18 years or older to vote, it says you are not allowed to thieve the right to vote from anyone 18 years or older ever again. This is another reiteration of that. The right of the citizens of the United States who are 18 years of age or older to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of age. It does not say that you have to be 18 to vote. It just says you are not allowed to deny them their right to vote, anyone 18 years of age or older. Section 2, and it does not say anything about this location, that location. Section 2, the Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. Amendment 27, that was 26, 27. No law varying the compensation for the services of the senators and representatives shall take effect until an election of representatives shall intervene. During the compensation for the services of the senators and shall take effect till an election of representatives shall intervene. So, senators, it's not talking about congressmen, so sounds like senators are in on this decision. They're not allowed to vary their compensation. Anyways, on the last one here, 1, 2, 3 pages. And 3 1/5. Let's take a hit. Let's do our thing. I'm almost done. Like I said, 1 o'clock. Running for 1 here. Let me read up my thing here. Well, I won't read it up, but
That'll be $52.87.
Oh no, do I have enough in my bank account to cover that? Oh, please have enough. Okay, here we go.
Does this panic at the register sound familiar? We've all been there. Thankfully, GO2bank's got you covered. That's right. You can get up to $200 in overdraft protection when you use your debit card from GO2bank. Because when you need backup the most, your go-tos got you. Tap to open an account today. Opt-in required for overdraft protection. Fees, terms, and conditions apply.
Folks, we're back in the bottom of the 6th. Lorenzo's on the mound. His slider's been... Wait, is that a cat on the field?
That tabby's really moving. He's past second base.
And Coach Bakerfield's making a grab, and oh, he missed.
Incredible. Someone give that cat a contract.
But folks, even this incredible cat can't sign up for Lemonade Pet Insurance, but you can. Cover your pet now at lemonade.com/incredible.
Yeah.
I had nothing to say.
Shit. Let me get through the last little bit here. I'll just take that instead. Three pages. Alright, let's do it. Well, let's take a little good look at here. Doesn't have to be big. What's in there? It's in there.
For a while there it was rough, but lately I've been doing better than the last 4 cold Decembers I recall.
Here we
I
go.
see my family every month.
Love football. This is the best time of
First they
year.
got a commercial. Come on now. Probably two. Over to this one. Ah, I got a piece missing. Gotta grab my other one. Let's grab my other one here. So I have two. You have to put this in a book or something to flatten it out. And back pages are a little fucked up here. God damn. The other one doesn't have fucked up back pages, but I carry this one in my backpack. I carry my backpack with me all the time. Here we go. I'll fix it later. Damn, that's annoying me though. all my pages are just straight up fucking full of it all. That pisses me off. It really does. I gotta do this, you guys. There we go. Oh my god. Feels like I just got rid of a fucking ingrown toenail. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence. Action of Second Continental Congress, July 4th, 1776. The unanimous Declaration of the 13th United States of America. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal section to which the laws of nature and the natures of God entitled them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impelled them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their, remember this is written by the Founding Fathers, among men, so they're talking about human, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on each principles, and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate the government's long established should not be changed. Prudence indeed will not dictate the government's long established should not be changed for the light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than the right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the abuses and usurpations pursuing what? But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of the colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their form, which concerns them to alter their form systems, seems through the paper here, of government. The history of the present king of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To provide this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused to his assent to laws the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden the governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance unless suspended in their operations till the assent shall be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people unless these people would relinquish the right of representation of the legislature of right estimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislature bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from depository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses respectively for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused, let me wipe my nose here. He has refused for a long time after such dissolutions to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers incapable of annihilation have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of the states for the purpose of obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither and raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude, erected means constructed, He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has affected to render the military independent and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his asset to the acts of pretended legislation, colon, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, colon, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states, colon, the cutting off of our trade with all parts of the world, colon, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, colon, for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, colon, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, colon, for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government and enlarging the boundaries so as to render it as once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into the colonies, colon, for taking away our characters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our government, colon, for suspending our own legislature and declaring themselves invested with the power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is at the time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens, take captive of the high seas, to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic, so friends and brethren, better watch it back. He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us, and endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an indistinguishable deconstruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of the free people. Nor have we been writing in attentions to our British brethren, we have warned them from time to time of attempts by the legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here, immigration spelled with an E. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of the common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interpret our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and of consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation, and hold them, as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends. We therefore, we're in a time of war. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in general, Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Court of the world for rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right to do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, fortunes, and sacred honor. There you go. And here's how I found out about Constitution Week. Celebrating the Constitution, commemorate the September 17th, 1787 signing of the Constitution of the United States. Congress has designated September 17th of each year as Constitution Day, and September 17th to 23rd of each year as Constitution Week. In 2004, Public Law 1008-447, Section 111 was passed, requiring the following. Each educational institution that requires federal funds for a fiscal year shall hold an educational program on the United States Constitution on September 17th of such year for the students served by the educational institution. Each federal agency or department shall provide educational and training materials concerning the United States Constitution to each employee on September 17 of each year. In keeping with these congressional mandates, the recent presidents have solicited help from federal and local government leaders to hold events to commemorate the occasion. We encourage all citizens to use their influence to organize and support programs that honor the Constitution's resources for holding such a celebration may be found. So in 2004, public law section was requiring the following. 2004. But before that, it was just straight up fucking celebrated. You know what I'm saying? 2004. We're talking about 1787, September 17. That's it, you guys. I'll put this back. I'll be right back to take a shot. And right through it. And it is what? Oh, we finished before 1. Fuck yeah. That's what's up. That is
What's
what's
your
up.
go-to drink before flight? A West Coast
Let's
IPA?
do a thumbs up
Or
on
that
YouTube.
Find the detail that moves you with local beer and craft cocktails at
I
the
think
Chase
it does.
Sapphire Lounge by the Club. Learn more at chase.com/sapphire
Isn't that
reserve.
does though?
Cards issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval.
Jim was at the laundromat when he heard
His ear said Maraca, senor, but his nose said, hey, freshest scent ever. Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring Gain scent beads into the washer. The
I
scent,
got like one
the
shot left.
freshness. Jim blurted, sir, your scent maracas smell
Empty.
amazing. You could call them scent maracas, but most noses call them Gain scent beads. Try Gain scent beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
We finished it. That was the task. Cheers. Happy USA Constitution Day. Happy USA Constitution Week. I hope everyone's having a dope time. Flex out freedom, spread freedom, and fucking live freedom. Alright, peace out, YouTube. Hold up, let's take a celebration here, huh?
Whoa, it's the Capital One Bank guy.
That's me.
So, what do you do outside of the Capital One Cafe?
What do you mean? No fees on checking accounts and no overdraft
Shit,
fees. Help me
dude.
sleep at night. What's in your wallet?
Used. Alright. I know that was kind of long. It's 1 o'clock now. I guess we predicted the future. Anyways, maybe I'll upload Splinter Cell. I'm too tired right now, but maybe thing. Sometime this week I'll upload it. But for now, we'll live in peace. Carry Metal Blade with you. Your life is important. Defend freedom. Defend against the invasion. It's your right, it's your responsibility. Do not contact any Brit motherfucker. Do not contact any 9/11 Nazi motherfucker. Stay the fuck away from 9/11. Do not dial 9/11. You need to be carrying a metal blade or a metal projectile weapon. Do not dial 9/11. Ever. That's it for now. Freaking fish. Dope. Peace out, YouTube.